Hello, 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 beautiful people. Welcome to the Doula Community Chat. So excited for everybody to be here today. As always, welcome to everyone and anyone. This is a great space for us as doulas and birth workers because we do have some lactation consultants, some midwives, and others that have joined recently. So this is just a great space for us to come together and share information, to chat, to talk about some ways that we are supporting our clients, and to share resources, ideas, and encouragement as we go through our journeys as doulas and birth workers, helping our wonderful clients. So today in the chat, if you would, let us know if you just recently joined the group and this is your first time participating in one of the chats. Let us know where you're from and what do you do. What type of doula are you? Specialist? Are you birth and labor, postpartum, fertility, or what? Share with us that. That is great, and we'd love to know where everybody is from. So welcome to this week's chat. We are talking about meal planning. Y'all, I love talking about food. So this is something I'm excited to talk about. Meal planning, I think it's important even when you're not pregnant or when you're not expecting, but it certainly it can be so beneficial to do meal planning when you're pregnant and afterwards, when you have you are sleeping wee hours and nursing throughout the night or taking care of the baby throughout the night. Meal planning in advance can help. It's such a small thing that can have big benefits. It can help just take that off of your mind. So as doulas, meal planning is one way that we can support our clients. I've done it for a number of years and it's been great. There's so many different ways that you can do meal planning and service that you can offer. I know some doulas that do it themselves. For example, their background is like they're a chef, they're a cook, right? One doula had a restaurant, and so she goes over and above and beyond, and it's awesome the package that she offers. But she does it all, right? So she sources her ingredients. She has a commercial kitchen she cooks out of. She does all of the cooking and literally delivers like gourmet meals to the family. Then there's other doulas that partner with vendors, such I do that as well myself. Just partner with vendors in the area that offers meals, and then the meals are delivered, and that's one put in the freezer, and then that's one way that family can just warm up the meal whenever they're ready for it. But they know that where it was sourced and that it's nutritious and that it has the right ingredients that they need to have in there, and it's convenient. It's available for them. So there's tons of ways of doing meal planning. There's some doulas that sit down with the families even before the baby comes and writes out their meals for 30 days, right? Just writes it out, figure out what are the grocery list. And so each week they say, these are the meals that we've decided upon. This is a grocery list. And then they help the family do the Instacart or whatever vendor that will deliver the groceries and then helps prepare it. So there's tons of different ways that you can do meal planning. You could do a full-on meal planning where you're looking at breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It could be meal planning for just breakfast and lunch. It could be meal planning just for snacks. It could be meal planning just for dinner. So it depends on what service and the way that you want to support their clients. But meal planning can certainly be beneficial to families in many, many ways. Just think about it. Like, you have so many other pieces of your life that you're transitioning home with a newborn, especially if you have other siblings, you have pets, and all sorts of things that you're trying to take care of. Last thing you want to think about is, okay, stare at a cold stove in the kitchen and be like, okay, what are we about to eat for dinner? So as a doula, if you can help with meal planning, that certainly can be beneficial. And it actually can be very lucrative as well if you decide on which package you want to offer. That certainly can be beneficial as well as an add-on to your services. So meal planning, I would just say 5 or 6 key tips or rules to go with it. And I say rules very loosely. It's really just more guidelines. The first is go with it. Right? Go with it. I know quite a few families that struggled with meal planning just because they were looking for the perfect meal planning template. They didn't know when to start. And then they're like, well, do we finish everything in our refrigerator first before we actually do meal planning? Because then we have enough space. And, it's so many different things that you can consider. It's like, just go with it. Start wherever you are and start with whatever you need. So if you need dinner, start meal planning for dinner, right? If you need breakfast, start there, right? So just go with it. There's no wrong way or right way to start with meal planning. Just start. And as doulas, you'll have, ask questions so you can figure out exactly what the needs are of the family and the expectations. So that way you are targeting the work that you all are doing when it comes to meal planning. So at the end of the day, it's right, knows what they're going to need. So first is just go with it, right? Just start. Get a pen and paper, get a notepad, and go with it. Write it down. Say day 1 or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Just start. And meal planning, part of it is just the process of thinking things through and being able to see your options. That is the benefit of meal planning. So that way you're using what's available, and you're knowing exactly what you need, and you're being very strategic. And so you can never go wrong with just starting. Just go with it, right? That's the first tip. The second is focus on what you need to eat, what the family needs to eat, not just wants, right? Because if you sit down, I've done this where we've done it as a family, so the kids and everybody around the kitchen table, and the kids are like, well, we need ice cream. Well, we need pizza, and I'm like, those are wants. What is that you need? What is the nutritional value that we need to get out of these meals? What do you need? So thinking, to the mom or the birthing person, in the first trimester, she want to keep about the same number of calories. Second trimester, you're looking at having, extra 350 calories a day. And third trimester, extra 450 calories a day. So we're thinking about, her needs. You're thinking about what any dietary restrictions or that she has or anything that needs to be focused on or sensitive to. We need to make sure that's incorporated. So the second tip is just when you're doing a meal plan, focus on what's needed in the diet versus what's wanted in the diet, right? Because if you do that, then that helps with the budget. Also, if you can focus on what's needed, because usually fresh vegetables will be a little bit cheaper than a whole bunch of packaged things that may be tasty, may be convenient, but more on the want side versus you need, your fruits and vegetables, right? You want that, I don't know, pre-made pizza or pre-made lasagna or something, which certainly can be a meal, but you want to make sure that in the whole scope of things that you're focusing on what's needed and not just what's wanted. Okay, the third is start small. I would even say for some families that I could tell it's going to be a little overwhelming, we just started with snacks. We just simply started with snacks. The husband had his own taste buds and snacks that he liked. The kids had their own snacks that they liked. She was craving and had her own snacks that she liked. So we just focused on snacks, and everybody was happy. Nobody was hungry because they had the snacks that they liked, and that kept them throughout the day while they worked on the bigger meals. So focus on the snacks. So I would just say the third to it is just start small. Figure out where you need to start. And so if it's something as simple as just we made sure everybody had snacks. We literally had a basket. And in it had snack bags, right? And it was on the center of the kitchen table. And that was, and we put it in Ziploc bags, and literally the husband's name was on his. The kids, they had 3 little kids, their names were on there, so they were able to just pick up, it was kind of fun for them. They would just go through their little bag, through the basket on the table, just picking which one's my name, which one's my name. Here's my name, I got it, So it was, we made it fun for them, but we just focused on snacks. That was that first week. We just literally said, okay, everybody gonna be happy with snacks, and that worked. And then we started incorporating lunches, and then we started incorporating dinners, right? And so we did it in a phased approach versus trying to overhaul from one day, no kind of meal planning, to the next day trying to meal plan, 4 meals of a day. It was too much, right? 3 meals and snacks, 4, it was just going to be too much. And so we just started with snacks. And so I would just say start small, just figure out what the family needs, and then start small. Say, okay, this week we're focused on this. Then week 2, we'll add in something else. Week 3, we'll add in something else. So then that way, if you're trying to get to the goal of having all of the meals pre-planned, then you can get there, right? But not overnight. You don't want, because you're trying to relieve the stress and keep it strategic and keep it planned, right? And keep it focused versus adding stress by trying to, take 5 hours meal planning and trying to do it from, going from 0 to 100 overnight. So start small, okay? And then the fourth is keep it simple. Keep it simple. So if you think of the protein, right? So you think of some fish, or you think of chicken, or whatever the protein that the family likes. Keep it simple. Say, okay, that chicken, how many ways can we use it, right? So if we do chicken on Monday, then on Wednesday can you use it this way, on Friday can you use it that way, and it's done. Or if you use it on Monday, they can use it, or Tuesday, you can use it again on Thursday. Like, keep it simple. Like, just see how you can reuse it. And I've noticed that if you keep the most simple meals at the beginning of the week, that's easier, because by the weekend, people are just ready to start their week, and the week may be a little daunting anyway. The mom or the family's working and trying to keep their siblings with school, homeschooling, all those sorts of things. Keeping it simple in the beginning of the week, I've seen it works a little bit more. It just works better for some reason. And then having the more complicated meals throughout the week. And this is if they're cooking, right? If there's already prepackaged, you cook it, prepare it, put it in the freezer, that's something different. But if the family decides that they want to cook and they want to cook from scratch, then finally I found that doing simple meals in the beginning of the week helps. It just helps. So that's the fourth, keep it simple. The fifth is that use a meal template, right? Use the resources that are available. Meal templates. So they have some templates where there's different websites and all sorts of things where you can put in 1 or 2 ingredients, and then it will shoot out what some options are for the meals. Or even Google. I've done that plenty of times. Like, I got some Alfredo sauce, got some chicken. What can I do with this? What are some ideas? Google, that simply can help. So I say that you say use a template where you can list out the ingredients, or it can tell you the ingredients. Like if you say, kind of just simple recipe websites as well, you can put in 1 or 2 ingredients and they can tell you, but there's some options. And it lets you know the calories. It lets you know, like, those are the best ones, especially for a mom that may be having some dietary restrictions. You put in the recipe, find the recipes that will give you the breakdown as to the calories, the sugars, the fats, and all those sorts of things. So that way, that's always in the back of their mind, and it's helpful for the family to be aware of it as well. And also use things like slow cookers. Right? Use like a slow cooker. I use oven all the time, just things that you can put it aside, have it cooking, and you're going on to the next thing, right? So that's kind of what keeping it simple, but use a template, use the recipes that you find that are easy. I tend, when working with families, especially when it's going to be quick and I'm trying to fix like 15-minute dinners or something like that nature, then I don't go, I look for recipes that have like 10 or less ingredients, right? You want something that's quick, that's something that's easy, especially if the mom or the birthing person is active and wants to do it with you. I don't want her to be in there cooking for an hour and a half to come up with one dish, right? So an hour and a half, let's get a couple of them out, So just thinking those things through, using templates, trying to keep it simple, trying to make sure you reuse the ingredients, especially proteins that you can go a long way. Now, there are a couple apps that are helpful that you can just download on your phone, or some of them you can do on your desktop, and you can use, and you can refer your families as well to them. So I wrote a couple down. One is E-Meals, E-M-E-A-L-S. The second one is Plan to Eat, and most of these are free. Big Oven. All recipes dinner spinner, actually, because all recipes website is one, but then they have all recipes dinner spinner as well. Dinner Spinner, S-P-I-N-N-E-R is another one. And then I have some families that follow kosher and vegan and some other diet lifestyles, and so Veganized is one as well. Veganiz. Veganized. And then Forks Over Knives. Now that is one that you and I have to pay for. That one's like $5, but all the other ones are free. So there's tons and tons of apps that can help with meal planning, and I encourage you to use them, right? Play around with them, see which one works for you, which one that you like, and have your 1 or 2 go-to apps that you can sit there and help with the family and do some quick meal planning. And then again, think about your package as a doula. Think of your service. Are you just helping them identify their meals and that's it? So they, at the end of the day, they have a list of meals that can go that way, or are you helping them write out their meals, plan them during the week, get their groceries for them, helping them prepare, or helping them find vendors so that we can bring the meal, So think about what it is that you want to offer. And it may vary from client to client. Some clients may only want the recipe. Some client may want you to write it out, on a calendar in the kitchen. Mondays this, Tuesdays Taco Tuesday, Wednesday is this, Thursday, you know, whatever. So figure out what it is that you want to offer and figure out what the family needs, and then you find that middle ground there. So meal planning, it can absolutely be helpful. There's so many ways to go about it, and there's so many websites and so many resources out there that are available to you. So definitely use meal planning. So if you could, in your comments, let me know what are some meal planning ideas that you have that have been successful with clients, and what is it that your clients are asking for, types of meals, frequency of meals. Share that, because that'll be helpful for other doulas that may be considering this as a new service or a new feature to offer. I love sharing information with you all, and I love receiving information. This is our community, so share, and I'll talk to you all soon.